People always ask me how I got started in this pie business, and the first thing I always say is I was blessed with a stay-at-home mom. My mom was the youngest of 11 children, and her parents emigrated here from Poland. So growing up, they had nothing. And whatever she learned how to do the right way from her mother, because resources were scarce, so you didn't waste things. And she used to say, if it's worth doing right. And my father, his parents came here from Italy, and my grandmother was making cannolis during the Depression and selling them out of her kitchen to make money. So I guess it's kind of in my genes. And my mother was the type who did everything from scratch. I didn't know you could make a cake out of a box till I was in high school, because she never did that stuff. She did everything from scratch, and from the time I was tall enough to stand at the kitchen counter, I was helping her roll out the pie dough. I still have her rolling pin and her pastry cutter, and I cherish them dearly because she taught me the basics of how to do it right. So I took that knowledge and I used it in my own life. I'm a registered nurse. I had been in nursing for 25 years. I was kind of getting burned out with that, and I wanted to something that would really allow the expression of my creative side. So I started making pies. I was in my home kitchen. It was a great way to start a business, but you certainly can't grow one that way. So within a very short period of time, I knew I needed to branch out and get some equipment and be able to do more than I could do with the few things I had at home. A friend of mine had a cake business. She said, why don't you come here and work in my shop before you go spending all this money just to find out you're going back to nursing? So I did that. My first employees were my 2 sons because they were readily available. And I could make it an attractive thing to do, and they would show up and help me. And within 6 months, I knew, this is it. I was shifting gears. In 2002, I rented space in an old factory building. It was about 1,500 square feet. I had a 3-year lease. We outgrew it in 2 years. We moved down to the second floor, took on 3,000 square feet, and we opened a little retail store within the factory setting. We did that for 5 years. And then more space opened up in the building. We took on another 3,500 square feet. So now we have over 7,000 square feet in the same factory building. We manufacture there, we have a retail store there, and everything we do for the farmers markets, for the fundraisers that we do, for our wholesale accounts, happens right there. I have 8 employees now, and I wouldn't trade this experience for anything. And a lot of my employees have been either family or friends of my kids who, through working here with Ever So Humble Pie Company, have bought their first homes, their first cars, have paid for school. It's really lifted a lot of people just making pie. Who would have thought? But we're having fun. We're making a great product that people are responding very well to, and we're spreading the wealth. You know, we've always said nothing says home like the sweet aroma of a freshly baked pie. But a lot of people don't have the opportunity or the time or the know-how to make a pie from scratch anymore. So we tell them, we'll make it, you bake it. Take it home, pop it in your oven, and get that wonderful aroma of pie in your home. We'll do all the hard part. You can take all the credit. You can tell everybody you baked it yourself because you did. And we like to tell people to come, take a trip down memory lane and treat yourself to a pie that's made the way they used to be. I've always found pie to be a very humble dessert. It goes back to our nation's founding. Pies have been around for a very long time, but they don't really get the recognition, I think, that they deserve. You know, people talk about cakes and cupcakes and cookies, but whoever talks about pie? They just seem to be lingering in the background, taking their rightful place at the dinner tables across America, but nobody really lauds over them. I had entered a contest once, and I worked really hard, and I made this beautiful apple pie. It was to die for, and I brought it. People were making fun of my pie. They thought, pie, what is that doing here? As though it wasn't worthy of being on the same table with all of these desserts that were fancy and maybe had French techniques, and I felt humiliated. But I was glad that happened to me because it drove home the fact that this is a humble dessert, and our name is the Ever So Humble Pie Company. And it also brought a slogan to my mind, which was sort of a takeoff another slogan that everybody knows, and it's, be it ever so humble, there's no taste like pie. That says everything, as far as I'm concerned, that needs to be said about a dessert like this.